to San Diego, my hometown. This is Red October.
You haven't seen us here in a while.
This joyride continues for the Phillies.
You can say that again.
For the first time in 24 years, the Padres are headed to the championship series.
Get ready for some big hits.
It is long gone. That is how you make a statement.
And a little foul play.
Corrali foul.
That goose is something else.
It's our chance at the pennant.
It's our chance at the pennant. It's game one.
It's game one of the NLCS.
Welcome to the 2022 National League Championship Series on FS1, presented by Loan Depot. And we've got a perfect day for it here in San Diego. They got the rain out of the system during the division series, 82 degrees and light blue skies above. We go down to the field now. Here's Tom Verducci.
I am with the most tenured San Diego Padre. Will Myers, 8 years as a Padre. Your first LCS, the first for this franchise since '98. Tell me about this atmosphere and what this night means to you.
I'll tell you what, being here for 8 years, seeing this right here is unbelievable. The energy the crowd brought in the NLCS was unbelievable, so hopefully we can continue that today.
And tonight you give the ball to your most experienced starting pitcher, Yu Darvish. Tell me what you expect from him tonight in game one.
He's been doing it all year. I expect the same thing. He's been our ace on the mound all year, and he lives for these games. He's going to go out there and give us a great effort. Hopefully we can play good defense and hit behind him.
Will, thanks so much. Have fun.
Thank you.
Now to Ken Rosenthal.
Tom, Bryce Harper and Manny Machado have been on parallel tracks from the time they were teenagers. They played together and roomed together with an 18 and under Team USA squad in 2009. They were two of the top 3 picks in the 2010 draft. Harper going first to the Nationals, Machado third to the Orioles. They became stars with those teams in cities about 40 miles apart. And then, after the 2018 season, they became free agents at 26. Harper signing with the Phillies for $330 million, Machado with the Padres for $300 million. So now, 4 years later, it is only fitting that their paths cross again in this NLCS. Two massive stars colliding on one of the game's biggest stages. Joe?
All right, Kenny, and what promises to be 2 excellent environments here in San Diego and then back in Philadelphia for the middle games of this series. Phillies coming to bat. Let's take a look at their lineup from their manager, Rob Thompson. Kyle Schwarber leads off, then Rhys Hoskins. JT Realmuto had an inside-the-park home run in the last game of the division series. There's Harper in the cleanup spot with Castellanos and Bohm. Bryson Stott, a rookie shortstop at 7th, then Gene Segura, and Brandon Marsh, who was acquired at the deadline from the Angels. On the mound for the Padres, Yu Darvish, who's made 3 starts in the postseason so far and been excellent. Game 1 of the wild card round in New York. 7 innings, just 1 run. Then he beat the Dodgers in game 2 of the division series, going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. To move to 2-0, he has gone deep into games. 29 of his 32 starts this season, he's gone 6 or more innings. He's always pitched well against the Phillies, including a couple of starts this year. 6 scoreless innings in May, 3 runs over 6 innings in June. And the 36-year-old having one of his best years, taking the ball in game 1 of the championship series.
Yeah, he's come a long way, and he has been outstanding. You know, all those numbers speak to it. He's going to be an interesting game plan because he throws a lot of strikes against a team that swings at a lot of first pitches. He has too many pitches for us to put down, but these are the majority of ones that he'll throw, upwards to 10 to 11 different shapes of them, and he mixes it up, and he's always got a pitch to get a hitter out. That's his philosophy. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if the Phillies get away from their game plan of swinging from the time they step in there, because if they do and Darvish makes the pitches, it'll be a long day for the Phillies.
Kyle Schwarber, the first man up there, as Yu Darvish gets ready to make his 3rd start of the postseason.
What he's going to do, Joe, he's going to throw a lot of sliders into the left-handers and then try to get fastballs late, 2 strikes and above. And so if he makes a mistake early against the Phillies, they'll make him pay. But if he gets to 2 strikes throughout the game, there are not many hits to be had off of Darvish with 2 strikes.
This is one of those guys, John, that will attack your first pitch.
Yep. He'll spin it a lot, though. He'll throw a lot of spinners early and with command.
Schwarber climbs in, Darvish comes home, and off we go with ball 1 on a fastball to Kyle Schwarber. Led the National League with 46 home runs during the regular season. It's been a rough go over to the postseason so far, just 1 for 20. On a 1-0 pitch, Schwarber takes a strike.
That's his pitch, and that's the window to look for that slider. It's small and breaks, but then he can shape it 3 different ways. And the curveball will have more of a north and south. This one kind of stays in the zone and then just hangs in the inner part of the upper zone. Buckles a lot of left-handed hitters.
Here comes at the 1-1. Schwarber watches strike 2 with fastball. We've seen 3 of his 11 offerings over the first 3 pitches.
Well, he's special in that regard because now we mentioned, you know, the Darvish of the old had trouble throwing strikes. Now that's not the problem.
Number 1 zone percentage in the majors, meaning he's in the strike zone at a higher rate than any other pitcher. That one not close, and that used to be one of the maddening things about him. He's always had that great stuff, but early in his career he tended to nibble around the edges of the zone.
Yeah, he did. It's an honor in his country where he used to pitch, and well documented, a 3-2 strikeout's like the highest compliment of the strikeout you can get. So adjusting to American style baseball the first 3 years was not easy for him. Therefore he threw a ton of pitches in 5 and 6 innings.
His 2-2 is in the dirt, and he's got himself one of those full counts here.
We saw a softer slider. There was the harder one. We saw a spiked curveball. And early on, you're just trying to get the feel for those pitches. He has a great feel for all those pitches. You can't throw that many pitches and not have an athleticism and feel for the ball in your hand.
Kyle Schwarber leading off and taking ball 4. So walk for Schwarber begins things against Yu Darvish. Umpiring crew for this championship series. Ryan Knight behind home plate tonight. Ted Barrett's the crew chief. He's at first. The last 2 teams in the field in the National League have taken down some big dogs. The 87-win Phillies beating the Cardinals in the wild card round, beating the reigning champion Braves in the division series. And the 89-win Padres beat the Mets all in New York in the wild card round, and then beat the 111-win Dodgers in 4 games.
This should be a slider or breaking ball for sure on the first pitch. Hoskins, middle to middle in hitter, likes to hit the ball power left field. If you make a mistake in, he'll make you pay, but he will expand the zone away on breaking balls, not hitting for a high average this year.
First one from Darvish is a spinner to the corner for a strike. And well, this very aggressive Phillies lineup, 7 pitches, no swings.
And that's the way I would have approached him if you could give a pep talk to the offense and say, hey, make him show you he's going to spin those balls for strikes. Because every once in a while now he's overthrowing his fastball, trying to be perfect with it. And he knows that's the beauty of postseason. You watch all this video and you know everything the other guy's going to do and vice versa, and who can execute and who can shock the system of the other side quicker. Like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Why is he doing this? And you can have success.
Is 1-1 overthrown again. This one gets by Nola. Schwarber into scoring position. And Darvish all over the place so far.
Yeah, he goes lower with his fastball. It's hard to tell as a hitter, though. You know, if he could deviate on pitch to pitch, a hitter can tell you what's coming. But he's actually dipped that shoulder a little too low on the fastballs. And you can see it come out of his hand, just not be square and have that late life that you're used to seeing out of Darvish.
So runner in scoring position already for the Phillies. Offense that's been boom or bust for a lot of the year and kind of kept up through the division series. One thing they did do well is sit with runners in scoring position. 371 in these situations against Atlanta. Hoskins takes strike 2.
See, that's what Darvish can do. Anytime behind in the count he wants to go to that slider, he throws it at about a 68 to 70% strike rate. And his ability to spin this ball, looks like a ball coming out of the hand. See how the hitter just kind of buckles and he gets back in the count.
On a 2-2, Hoskins with the first swing of the day from the Phillies and a pop fly into right center field. Trent Grisham is there, 1 away. Well, here's one area where the Padres have a distinct advantage in this series. That is defense. Trent Grisham makes that first play in center field, a Gold Glover in 2020. Left side of the infield, especially good. Manny Machado and Ha-Sung Kim, who's graded out as one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball. Cronenworth and Myers on the right side. And Austin Nola, who they rave about as a leader of this pitching staff. One gone in this first inning, and here is JT Realmuto.
This is a little bit of strength on strength. JT's pretty good on the breaking ball and slider off of right-handers.
Swats the first one foul.
You know, it's funny because if you go up there looking for a breaking ball, you're guaranteed to get one. But it's what do you do with it, right? And the problem with hitters will tell you is if I go up there to sit on a breaking ball and I know a high percentage of sliders are coming, I'm more apt to swing at a bad one because I'm looking for it. And as soon as I see the spin, I go after it. You got to be really disciplined to look for a breaking ball and only hit it in the zone.
Schwarber at second, one gone. Here's an 0-1. Takes it down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And, you know, most hitters will tell you, I don't want to get beat with the fastball, so I'm always on the fastball, adjust to the breaking ball. When a guy's in the same area with those pitches, good luck, right? Hitting with the fastball. We haven't seen him hit with the fastball yet to really set up these other breaking balls. And when he does, he's doubly tough.
Here's his 1-1. In on him, cracks his bat on a roller to third. There's Machado to get Realmuto. Up to third goes Schwarber. 2 gone.
Well, I've been looking forward to this matchup, Joe.
Yeah, I think we all have.
A first pitch fastball earlier in the matchup, he deposited for a home run, and then he went to a different style of pitching. And it's always in the back of a pitcher's mind when you know you've given up a homer on a fastball. Sometimes carries over into the future and see how they attack him.
Well, Harper, the MVP last season. This year has been defined more by the injuries, but lately he's looked like that MVP again. 435 and 3 home runs over the first 6 games of the postseason.
And he has been super aggressive on the first pitch.
Yeah, most aggressive guy first pitch in baseball this year. Let's see. Took a cutter inside.
You know what we noticed, because we did the last series, we noticed that the first swings and misses were a lot of them on him. He came out of his shoes, but then he adjusted off of that and made contact, went the other way, and really got hot against the Atlanta Braves.
Trying to get the Phillies on the board here in the first inning on a 1-0 pitch. He pulls one foul, and it's 1-1. Harper turned 30 on Sunday, and he's getting to do something for the first time in his career, something he's always talked about wanting to do, and that is play baseball past his birthday. And prior to this season, he had never won a postseason series. And now, game 1 of the championship series. Runner at third, 2 gone. Big curve, didn't quite make it back there. Ball 2.
Yeah, he has the variance on his pitches is pretty severe. He can throw a 70-mile-an-hour curveball and a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and see that thing pop out of his hand that comes down late, almost catches the strike zone. I think with Harper, if he gets to 2 strikes, he's got to climb the ladder with the fastball, but getting to 2 strikes might be hard.
Darvish is 2-1. Harper swings and misses over the top, and it's 2-2.
Let's see if he climbs the ladder right away. The Braves had some success up in the strike zone above the belt. The fastball not catching up.
That is Yu Darvish's way of finishing guys off. Pitches backwards in that way. Over at third, 2 gone, 2-2 pitch. Fastball pulled, diving stop, Jake Cronenworth. The Crone Zone alive in the first inning of the championship series. Wow, Jake Cronenworth saves a run. And the Padres come to bat after this. Melvin. Profar leads off, and then back-to-back superstars in Soto and Machado. Josh Bell bats 4th, then Jake Cronenworth and Will Myers. Ha-Sung Kim, the shortstop, followed by Grisham and Austin Nola. And they've got one tough customer that they've got to face off with tonight. 32-year-old Zach Wheeler, who's in his 8th season, pitching in the postseason for the first time here in his 8th year. And John, his first 2 starts, really good.
They really have been good, and he can make an argument that ERA would have been 0 had a play been made, but they're here, and he wants to take the Phillies as far as their starting rotation can. And there's the usage. Again, good pitch mix. A strike thrower, throws hard, effortless. He can throw the ball in, cuts the ball in on left-handers, and he's got a curveball as well, as you saw his changeup.
Jurickson Profar climbs in, takes ball one. Now, the Padres offense for a lot of this season has done enough. And that was the case again in the clinching game on Saturday against the Dodgers. A 5-run 7th inning that was started by a walk from this guy. Profar, check swing foul, and it's 1-1.
Well, one of the difference between the two style of pitchers is going to be pretty obvious. One pitch out of the windup, Darvish pitch out of the stretch, but the release point of where they release the ball is going to be pretty different too. Wheeler's about as good as it gets, getting downhill extension, so the hitter has less time to see the ball, and that's why that 98, 97 looks even harder to a hitter, because he releases it almost at 7 feet.
Fastball is by him, and it's 1-2.
And he's just got great extension on those pitches, and you follow that with any kind of breaking ball. He can go to both sides of the plate, which is a luxury that not a lot of pitchers have today. And he gets down on that front leg and looks effortless.
One of the classic power pitcher. I mean, he gets those long limbs going right. Good luck.
That's exactly right. The timing of him is very important, because his elbows, you'll see his elbows more than you'll see his hand till the end. The way the ball comes out of the glove, you see his elbows right now, and then here it comes. And the good and bad about that is when the timing isn't right, the command is affected, because the hand's got to come out and be in a throwing position that when the foot hits the ground, his landing foot, you want all that timing working together. And as you can see, that time off really helped them in the postseason. His velocity just keeps climbing.
Fires another 2-2. It's a breaking ball. Pulled to second for Gene Segura. And the first out. Well, easier play for Gene Segura there than Jake Cronenworth had to make to save a run, finish off the top of the first.
This won't happen next year, but they don't care about next year. The shift and the deep second base play right there on the in-between hop on the grass. That's not that easy. And it's a huge start to the Padres, because that easily would have been a run, of course, for the Phillies.
One gone in this first inning, and one of the top players in baseball coming to the plate in Juan Soto, who has not had a great time with the Padres, hitting just .236, but boy, you face him as a pitcher, John, I would imagine none of that matters.
No, it doesn't. You know, the problem with him, even when he's not clicking, he'll take his walks. And so if you're taking on the San Diego Padres as the Phillies pitching staff, you circle two guys. There happen to be batting right now, and the guy on deck.
Outside.
And you cannot let them beat you. And what you say to yourself is, all right, solo home runs. That's the theory of the postseason. Solo home runs will not beat me. I can't have traffic on the bases for Machado and Soto if we're going to win this series.
On a 2-0 pitch. That's high, ball 3. Juan Soto, the centerpiece of arguably the biggest trade the sport has ever seen. August 2nd, A.J. Preller in this front office going for it. Getting Soto, getting Josh Bell, trading away 6 players, including several top prospects, looking for their first championship. On a 3-0 from Zach Wheeler. Soto takes ball 4.
You know, we talked about how the Phillies were on the track of the Atlanta Braves last year, and it is similar. But the San Diego Padres are dealing with something the Atlanta Braves dealt with last year. Their superstar has not been able to play this year, and they're making adjustments, making trades, and advancing in the postseason. Braves went on to win the World Series without Acuna. Can the San Diego Padres do that without Tatis? Well, they're off to a good start.
And this guy here, John, for a lot of the season, put this team on his back. When coming into the year, it's supposed to be a 2-star show, right? It's Machado and it's Tatis. But as Tatis winds up not playing a game, this guy for a lot of the year has carried him.
Yeah, he sure has. He's got the equivalent of the Wheeler long delivery. This guy's got a long swing in the strike zone. Majestic, kind of looks like it's like he's playing in slow motion. The ball jumps off his bat when he gets the ball in the zone where he likes it.
Loves the first pitch, goes after it, comes up empty. Power against power, first pitch, strike 1.
And for Wheeler, he can get away with a couple of those with Machado, but he's going to have to be effective away. Throw in for effect, but throw your slider cutter on the outside part of the plate and see if you can get Machado to reach maybe pull a ball on the ground for a double play or swing and miss.
Stays away with a fastball. Machado in the 4th year of that 10-year contract. Unofficial captain of this Padres squad. A 1-1 from Wheeler. Fouls off a fastball, 1-2. And he says this year he's gotten back to playing the game like when he was a kid, just having fun, coming to the park, not thinking about numbers, not thinking about pressure, truly playing.
And he's gotten off to good starts, and I mean, he hit a lot of his home runs are in the first 3 innings and against starting pitching. So he's coming out with a bang over the last 2 years in that department.
Trying to set the tone early here. 1-2 from Wheeler is popped foul. Finished 4th in batting average, 3rd in on-base plus slugging, right in the center of the MVP conversation. Good race in the National League. The thing that Machado has in his favor is that a lot of the other candidates had another candidate on their team. And yeah, they added Soto over the last 2 months, but for a lot of the year, this was a one-man show offensively.
Yeah, and that's when you're attacking a lineup like that, that even speaks more volumes to the year he's had, because he doesn't have that supporting actor, you know, that wins the Emmy, that helps you get to that point.
Soto at first, 1 gone. Wheeler home with a 1-2. Ball 2.
That one started too low. If he starts this breaking ball in the, I don't know, knee area of the outside part of the plate, that's where Machado goes after it. But that ball came out of his hand low enough to where Machado spotted it right away and could stay off that pitch.
Rob Thompson, interim tag removed. Day before the division series. 2-2 to Manny Machado is lifted in the air down the right field line. That is a souvenir.
Well, historically, this has been a good place for pitchers to pitch. I mean, this time of night and even later, because we're playing earlier than they do at night. Ball doesn't travel very well here. It's going to travel tomorrow. I can guarantee you that.
89.
Yeah. Ball's going to be jumping. It'll be a good hitter's game tomorrow. It'll be a little bit better here because of the start time.
The 1:37 first pitch tomorrow. Aaron Nola against Blake Snell. Here's another 2-2 from Wheeler. Machado pulls it down the line, foul.
Okay, so he got away with that pitch because that's where Machado likes it. Now, he would have loved to gone higher, but he loves the inner part of the strike zone. So once he established in there and he got him to pull it foul, watch where the pitch is. He stays on that ball and tries to ride it in. Okay, and he pulls it foul. This would be, again, if he wanted to, a classic time to go breaking ball off the middle of the plate and let it catch the outside part of the plate, because they've thrown a lot of fastballs here and he's fouled them off.
On the 8th pitch, Machado lays off.
And again, he would have got him. He starts that ball higher. He swings at it 100%. You see, he wanted to go after it and he checked his swing. You can do this again on a 3-2 pitch. It starts out of his hand. See how low it starts out of his hand? And even that, Machado wanted to go after. So that tells you all you need to know if you're reading the body language or in the bat of the hitter. If he throws a quality slider right here, 3-2, he will get him to swing at it.
Soto at first, 1 gone. 3-2 from Zach Wheeler to Manny Machado. Fastball lifted in the air to left. Schwarber comes on. He will make the catch, so he ultimately wins the battle, does Wheeler. 2 gone in his first inning. These Padres under first-year manager Bob Melvin, the perfect guy for this group. Comes in. And Fernando Tatis Jr., we're talking about, one of the superstars in baseball, does not play this year. Manny Machado carries him with an MVP caliber season. Get some help at the deadline. Juan Soto comes over with Josh Bell. Josh Hader has started looking like the old Josh Hader again lately. They get into the postseason, an underdog against the Mets. All 3 games in the wild card round in New York. They win that series. And then against the Dodgers team that dominated them during the regular season, they take 3 of 4 and advance to the championship series. Josh Bell, strike 1 from Wheeler. Now, Bell is the other piece of that Soto trade. He was having a monster year with the Nationals, hitting above 300, but just 192 with the Padres. And similar numbers so far in the postseason.
He's done a pretty good job along with the rest of his team and not chasing too many pitches outside the zone.
Inside.
Got the call there, 1-1.
And that's rare for a big slugger like that to be able to stay within himself and not expand the zone and try to get the pitcher in that box. Tremendous take. He either was fooled or it was a tremendous take.
Yeah. The Padres only have 1 guy in the lineup tonight that is more aggressive than your average hitter. That's Machado. Most of these guys very patient. There's the first swing from Bell. And it's 1-2. First chance in the postseason for Bell, who spent most of his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. A lot of losing seasons there. Part of a rebuild. Then he gets traded to the Nationals, and he's like, okay, I'm with the reigning world champ now. Well, they tore it down midway through his first season there. Part of another trade this year and getting his first chance in the postseason. On a 1-2 from Wheeler. Bell chops it foul.
One thing Bell will do is he'll hit a lot of ground balls for a big guy, especially if you throw him a changeup. He's looking to hit that high fastball as far as he possibly can. And of course, Wheeler's trying to do the opposite and get the ball down to the big slugger.
A lot of pitches in this first inning for Wheeler. Another 1-2 is in the dirt. They check to third, and Bell went around. So both these pitchers having to search for it a little bit in the first inning, but both put up zeros. We're off and rolling the championship series. 10 grand of Big Papi's money by simply playing Fox Bet Super 6. Just download the free Super 6 app on your phone and enter 6 picks in today's NLCS contest for a free chance to win 10 grand. On to the second, no score. Nick Castellanos to lead off against Yu Darvish. Most aggressive of this aggressive bunch. Yeah, and a good breaking pitch from Darvish for strike 1.
You can see a lot of that out of the San Diego Padres, attacking Nick until he makes an adjustment. Now he's got hits doing it that way, even with 2 strikes.
Castellanos enjoying a clean slate here in the postseason after a rough first season in Philly. He's had a 5-year contract and not close to what he had done in Cincinnati when he hit 34 home runs last year, was an all-star. Trying to put all that to rest. But the regular season struggles to rest. Read a news story here in the postseason. Some good moments in that division series. In an 0-2 hole. And down quickly as Darvish preyed on his aggressiveness.
Well, this approach, Nick never stayed on the ball to look to go the other way against a breaking ball, and he was pulling off those pitches pretty badly to see if he makes an in-game adjustment and the next time he comes to the plate against Darvish.
And Yu Darvish, John, is one of those guys where if you have a weakness like that, he's going to know about it.
Watched a lot of video, and that's the best way to find out.
Alec Bohm, strike 1.
Oh!
And you know, the beauty of the way that Darvish pitches now is that, yeah, we saw his fastball overthrown a little bit in the first inning, didn't command it, but he commands his secondary pitches so good that he can get back in the count anytime he wants with that pitch.
And you sort of never know what you're going to get if you're a hitter. You may see him a couple times in one season, and he might attack you completely differently from one game to the next.
You know how we talked about, I mean, the day and age of getting through the lineup 3 times is pretty much done because that's what analytics tells you. You know, can't get the pitcher through. And the reason is because most of the pitchers that pitch today show the hitter everything they have, and they full bore the first 2 times. So you really don't have any way of getting them out for the 3rd time when you've showed them everything. Well, Darvish has so many of those pitches. That's why he gets tougher as he stays in the game longer. And as these 2 staffs are 2 of the best for starting pitchers pitching 6+ innings and 2 runs or less.
Yeah, the only guy in baseball that averaged deeper outings this season than Darvish was the guy that's probably going to win Cy Young, and Sandy Alcantara. Darvish 6 2/3 per outing. His 1-2 to Alec Bohm is in the dirt. It's 2-2.
And again, if you're sitting at home going, how can a guy keep throwing that pitch and the hitter keeps swinging at it? Well, he shapes it differently. He changes the speed. If I throw a slider crosses the plate and the hitter takes it because it's firm, then I'm going to sweep the slider, or Darvish is going to sweep the slider and create more break so that it's over the plate and entices you to swing the ball, swing the bat.
2-2. So he's got a 1-seam, a 2-seam, a 4-seam, a cutter, a couple sliders, a couple curves, a couple splitters. You put it all together, and 11 total.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, they can't really do pitch comp, right?
Uh-oh. Some blood on the knee. Once had the bloody sock game. You get the bloody pant game coming here from Darvish. On a 2-2 again. Comes in on Bohm, pop foul.
I think he I'm just guessing here, but I think he catches his knee with his spike sometimes, his foot, the way he throws, because he doesn't drive. Watch how close his foot comes when he gets right there. So sometimes you might catch a piece of your leg when you're not trying to, because he has that double hesitation.
Yeah. .36-year-old in his 17th year as a pro. Fires 2-2. Down goes full on Bohm. At 7 years in Japan, he came to the majors, Texas Rangers, to the Dodgers, to the Cubs. Padres got him in a trade from the Cubs prior to last year.
It comes pretty close. Yeah, he slowed him up the entire time. Does he go 3-2 fastball here, or does he stay with the breaking ball?
Bohm's been a lot better against fastballs this year. He went with the breaking ball, and it's foul.
And so normally, let's just say it was a traditional breaking ball. At this point, the hitter's got the advantage.
Right.
Because he's seen the shape of it. Well, there's too many shapes of Darvish to make that a blanket statement for him. Now, every one of these pitches, I believe, has been a breaking ball. And so he's been able to kind of make him move his eyes with this different shapes and different speeds.
Guy's been called a mad scientist with a baseball. Deals another 3-2. And another version of a breaking ball. Gets Bohm. A little tighter one to the knees, and back-to-back Ks to open the second.
So far, 2 batters, all breaking balls, all forms of something other than a fastball. And this one starts in and catches the inside part of the strike zone. It's called a front door breaking ball. That's not exactly where he was trying to throw it, but the beauty of it is he gets a better result.
And he really enjoys this stuff, Darvish does. Watching a guy throw a breaking pitch, trying to emulate it. And he's got an uncanny ability to do so. It's a strike on Bryson Stott. He's got multiple versions of a curveball, and the latest version is a carbon copy of Zach Gallen. Arizona Diamondbacks starting pitcher, had a great year, had a 45-inning scoreless streak at one point. But Gallen threw 28 curveballs against the Padres, one start in September. Darvish watched it and thought, that's a good-looking pitch. I'd like that. The next time out, Darvish takes the ball, and he's throwing a carbon copy of it. Almost identical spin when you put it through, all the math through it. And take a look at the spin rate and the break. And he had his Zach Gallen curve.
Well, if he looked at that card, it should scream fastball right here up.
That's where the target is set. He missed his spot, and Stott hit it down the line. Jurickson Profar is there. And that's a scoreless second for the mad scientist, Darvish. For every home run hit this postseason, T-Mobile is donating $5,000 to Team Rubicon's hurricane recovery efforts. So when you text relief to 595959, T-Mobile will donate another $5. Back here at Petco Park, no score as we go to the bottom of the second, and Zach Wheeler goes back to work.
Yeah, both pitchers a little rusty, a little juiced up, a little excited about the first inning. Darvish made a nice second inning adjustment. See if Wheeler does the same for the Phillies. A lot of four-seam fastballs in the first inning, the most he's thrown all year.
Jake Cronenworth takes strike one.
And that would speak to, okay, four-seam fastball, let me throw some strikes on a team that takes a lot of them. And if I can get ahead of them, I'm going to be able to do what I want to do with 2 strikes.
It's another one of those patient hitters here, high contact hitter in Jake Cronenworth, who is a guy you look at when you look at this Padres lineup, John, and you think this should be a tough one to face.
Yeah, because he doesn't really swing from the heels, right? He makes contact for the most part, or at least that's going to be his calling card as the career continues to unfold. Maybe the only weak spot, he gives up a little bit inside, so inside he's not as good as he is out over the plate.
Wow, Wheeler makes quick work of him, striking him out on 3 pitches.
Wheeler has that angle that really is tougher on left-handers than you would think. You would think that most right-handers would own the right side of their counterpart in the batter, but the way that he throws his cutter in, or slider, whatever you want to call it, and then that riser fastball that he has, it just makes it a tough on left-handers to kind of pick up and track the ball. He's throwing off the first base side of the rubber, so he wants that movement like that. He wants that side to be able to be his sweet spot, and for the most part he can own both sides of the plate.
Strike one to Will Myers, who visited with Tom Verducci before the game, the longest tenured Padre. Came over here in a trade in 2015, and this guy has seen a lot of different versions of this Padres team. That first one that he was on was their first attempt really to go for it. He came over, Shields came over, Kimbrel was here, Upton, and Matt Kemp. Well, he's the last remaining guy from that first push. In his 8th year, takes a ball, and it's 1-2.
He's one of the last guys, one of the few guys that doesn't wear batting gloves.
Right. Back-to-back Ks from Wheeler, sticking with the hard stuff. 2 gone in the second, and down to Tom Verducci.
Well, you mentioned Will Myers, 8 years in the making for the Padres to win that division series against the Dodgers. How do you celebrate? He went to a local bar and he said, "Everybody drinks on me." Bought shots for everybody. Total bill, he told me, $1,400, and he said it was well worth it.
That is awesome.
I guess you got to know the place before you go there, right? You just can't pick a random place. You got to know some clientele that might not take you north of 5,000.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's pick a dive. We're going to be nice, but we're going to do it in a dive. 2 gone for Ha-Seong Kim, who has blossomed here in his second season with the Padres. Sends a fly ball to center field for Brandon Marsh. And Zach Wheeler settles into this game with a 1-2-3 second. Two scoreless innings here in game 1 of the championship series. And it's a veteran Gene Segura to lead off the 3rd for the Phillies. 1 ball, no strikes.
Here's the other subplot theme to look for in this series. The Phillies aren't I wouldn't call them a classic speed team on the bases, but you can take some bases and steal against the Padres and against Nola if you have the right clientele on. And I would say this guy quantifies.
And he's been getting on. 389 so far in the postseason for Gene Segura, who's waited a long time for this chance. 11 years in the big leagues, more than 1,300 regular season games. He's more than any other active player without a trip to the postseason. Enjoying his first ride, close to 400. 2-1.
I think the flaw and some of the fallacies in the game today were we follow the numbers too much, and so you're afraid to make outs because they're valued and it's tough to score runs. I get it, you hit homers, but when there's a glaring weakness on the other team, you have to take advantage of it. You have to find a way to do the little things that will give you a leg up if they give you a certain weakness on their ball club.
This is one of those series, John, as we look at these two teams, I mean, it's on the margins. These are two really evenly matched teams that are going to be looking for those edges.
No doubt. And there's going to be a lot of heat. I mean, literally gas coming on the bullpen on the top 2 or 3 guys of each club. So look for the managers in the first 2 games to play it pretty tight and go for the aggressive style of closing out a game, because after game 2, that day off, no more days off. Can't do that anymore for 5 in a row, potentially.
2-2. Right down the middle to get him. 3rd K for Darvish.
I mean, this playoff format's new to everybody, and these 2 teams have proved why the uniqueness of it. We didn't think, a lot of people thought that these 2 teams would meet. So now the newness in this series is normally day off game after game 2, day off after game 5. There's only 1 day off, and that will be more of a season-like strategy for these managers to trust other guys, because you can't keep going the same ones.
1 gone, 3rd inning. The 9-hitter Brandon Marsh, who hit a 3-run home run. Game 4 of the division series. It's a guy that they got in a trade from the Angels, mostly with the defense in mind, and he's done well defensively in center field, but he's also hit close to 300 during the regular season, and then that big swing in game 4. And an 0-1 from you, Darvish. Marsh watches a curve just miss inside, and so far, home plate umpire Adam Hammer's not giving anybody that inside.
Not that pitch. That was a really good pitch. Watch the hitter buckle. See, that's going to be a ball, and it comes straight down. And that's probably on the closer side of the strike call, but nonetheless, he had him buckled when it popped out of his hand.
You could give him a strike just because it's pretty to watch. Fastball turned up and blown by him, and there's that huge speed separation.
Well, that's 20 miles an hour at least, and that's what's going to be a struggle for a lot of these hitters. If Darvish, and you could say at the top 2 and top 3 for each club starting rotation, if they're hitting their pitches, boy, you better get lucky and get a mistake.
One, 2. Darvish getting things rolling, and he's got him guessing. 97 in there for strike 3.
Well, when he gets the 2 strikes, he's deadly, and he's gotten to 2 strikes the last 2 innings at a regular rip, and he's not missing it.
Darvish walked Kyle Schwarber to start this game. He's retired 8 in a row since, 4 of the last 5 on strikeouts.
And that's about what you're going to get. You never know. It's like, what is it, a box of chocolates? You never know what you're going to get.
That's it. Second look for the Phillies at Darvish, and a big rip and a miss at a first pitch slider.
Two strikes. The league's hitting 132 coming into this game.
A strikeout almost half of the time when Darvish gets 2 strikes on you.
That is such a great sequence after burying a slider inside. You get that, okay, here comes, and then you just can't wait long enough as a hitter on that pitch. And then when he throws that pitch and anything firm after that, it looks like 100. You know, it just looks faster than.
Nasty. 1-2.
Let's go slider. Let's go curveball. Let's go split away. And now you could go fastball up. Could be 4 different pitches in 4 pitches.
Tried to backdoor it. 2-2. No score, 3rd inning. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. giant killers, these party crashers facing off. Padres and the Phillies. 2-2 to Kyle Schwarber. That's down the line and a base hit for Schwarber, who has reached both times. So the Phillies have had 2 base runners, both times Kyle Schwarber. Their 3rd inning kept alive. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, Phillies hitting coach Kevin Long told Rob Thompson that Schwarber had a great session in the batting cage yesterday. I asked Schwarber if he made any adjustments, and he said no, he simply is feeling better physically. So often we have no idea what these guys are dealing with, and Long said that now that Schwarber is feeling better, well, that's his pick to click for the series.
Yeah, he was much shorter to the ball right there, Kenny, and that adjustment off of a slider. If you're big and long, you're going to swing over the top of it. He can get big and long early, but that 2-strike approach was really good.
Rhys Hoskins. That's a strike. Well, Hoskins and Schwarber have been telling each other, our moment's going to come. Our moment's going to come. And Hoskins had his. The first game in Philadelphia last Friday night, that 3-run home run. Iconic scene. The place goes crazy. Hoskins slams his bat down in excitement and release. Schwarber waiting on his moment still.
So to explain what everybody's trying to do is everyone's trying to lift, separate, and put a point on the board with a homer. So the swings are bigger. And against a stuffed guy and a really stud pitcher, you're just giving him more ways to strike you out. And so it's a stylistic approach that sometimes you don't have enough hitters in there, short, compact, and put the ball in play. They're all going for the long fly ball.
Darvish with fastballs, gets ahead of 1-2 and then finishes him off. He gets 3 Ks in the inning, all on fastballs down the middle looking.
Mixing it up.
Something's happening inside of me. Excellence, yeah, it's gotta be hot.
Bottom 3, no score. Back here at Petco Park. And be sure to check out the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball, as this postseason continues and Trent Grisham leads off. It's been his postseason for the Padres. And the notorious patient hitter bounces the first one that he sees to first base, and Hoskins feeds Wheeler. 1 pitch, 1 out. Zach Wheeler in the first inning needed 24 pitches. That's now 9 pitches to get the last 4 outs.
Yeah, and I like that because you got to change the scouting report sometimes. You can't. You might bait the pitcher into laying one in there because you historically don't swing at anything, and now you create a little doubt in their mind. But this is the style I thought we were going to see. Who's going to zig when they zag? Because it's pretty evident. We've talked about not swinging type team and a very aggressive swinging team in the Phillies, and they might be reversing the roles a little bit.
Here's Nola. Yeah, they really both have zigged. The other zagging, right? You know, these guys being more aggressive.
Problem is the Phillies are taking strike 3
right
down the middle.
Yeah. Don't keep zigging that long. Here's an 0-1. And down the middle for strike 2 on Nola.
I've always said when you get into postseason, you know you're going up against a stud on the other team. You're not really pitching against them, but you have him in mind knowing you can't give up many runs. And the rhythm of pitching when they're both good is fun to get back on the mound and do your thing. And like we talked about in the first series, late runs in the late innings. Oh, man.
Bouncing ball to Gene Segura. A couple groundouts for Zach Wheeler to open this 3rd inning.
Some people would like a 3 spot in the first inning and go from there. But then you know your margin. If you pitch a tight game all the way to the 5th, 6th, and 7th and a team scores, it feels like such an adrenaline rush because you know you've got to keep it 0-0. When it's 8-0, 6-0, your mind just knows that. Oh, pitch like it's 0-0.
Right.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Here's Jurickson Profar back at the top of the order. With Zach Wheeler didn't have to trick himself. His last start, it was 0-0. He was dominant through 5+ innings. There's just 1 base runner against Wheeler, but then 3 2-out runs in that 6th inning against Atlanta. In on Profar, muscles it up the middle on a bounce. Segura's there, and a 5-pitch 3rd inning for Zach Wheeler. No score as Bryce Harper gets ready to come up. Still no score as we go to the 4th inning. Game 1 of the championship series. Yu Darvish has 5 Ks over the last 2.
And he's done a great job just messing with the heads of the Phillies because he's pitching in no pattern at all. So you have a hard time guessing along with him. And they've taken a lot of strikes and swung at a lot of balls.
Overall, swinging way less aggressively than they normally do. It's a ball on JT Realmuto. I mean, 3 strikeouts last inning on 3 fastballs down the middle. That's a perfect example of a team who doesn't know what to expect.
Yeah, the only trend I can see right now, if you're following along, is when he wants to get back in the count behind 2-0, 2-1, it's a breaking ball.
Well, he was behind and he threw a breaking ball, 1-1.
And so you watch for these things, and I know everybody's on the bench looking at different things, and you can see the line score for both starting pitchers. And you know, the pitcher reads the hitter. He has his information. We already talked about the video work that he does, and he's done a nice job really outthinking an aggressive hitting. He's almost hypnotized the Phillies' aggressiveness, and then when they need it to be aggressive, he throws a fastball down the middle.
2-1 on Realmuto, and we go down to Tom.
Well, Joe, I know you're a big fan of Axl Rose, who's got tremendous vocal range. Darvish, Axl Rose of pitching. His range incredible on the mound. Already tonight, 18 different speeds to 11 batters. He's only getting started. Last time out, 23 different speeds.
Here's 2-1 to Realmuto. That's foul. I bet you're a bigger Axl Rose guy than I am, John.
Can't lie on national TV.
Okay.
I know who he is.
Okay. I mean, I'm with you on that. I just can't say that I got like a T-shirt or anything.
Well, I tell you right now, you know, Philadelphia is looking. There's just saying both teams are looking. Give me a mistake to hit. I haven't seen many.
Darvish home with the 2-2. Realmuto watches strike 3. It's another fastball to get him looking. This one looked to be a little bit low, and that's Realmuto's argument.
This is what I love about pitching. The cat and mouse game, and then, you know, Realmuto thought that was low, but you basically got all this information to be able to pitch backwards, and then you can flip a script on him again. Like he'll probably, I would say, in the 5th and 6th inning, may go more fastballs early and then breaking balls late. You never want to have that hitter feel comfortable that he knows what's coming.
1 gone for Bryce Harper, who ripped the line drive his first time with a man at 3rd and 2 gone in the 1st inning, but as nice of a defensive play as you'll ever see. Robbed him of a hit. The Phillies have a run. It's inside, ball 1 on Harper. Jay Cronenworth out there in short right field. A sprawling play. Darvish comes home, and the reigning MVP Bryce Harper lifts one the other way. That sends Profar back. Is it too high, or did he get enough? He got enough! Home run Harper! Phillies strike first. It was way up there, and when it came down, the Phillies found themselves with a 1-0 lead in game 1.
Well, Harper got one out over the plate, and he did that off of Jansen in a game that they had well in hand that closed out the Braves. And his ability to hit a ball out is just as good as his ability to hit the ball in, and it's almost like he's got that fall away approach swing, but he's so strong that he can hit it the other way.
4th home run for Bryce Harper in his last 6 games. He says he's been willing this whole thing into existence. Right from the start of the postseason run, he's telling all his teammates, we're not losing. We ain't going to lose. We ain't going to lose. They've only lost 1 game in this postseason so far. Castellanos swings and misses, and it's 1-1.
Well, so much pressure when everyone focuses on you, right? I mean, the superstar is supposed to always be the superstar, and you can get isolated and neutralized if you don't have teammates picking up the slack. And then, well, he had some teammates picking up the slack because they scored a bunch of runs against the Braves.
Two and one. Now, this Phillies team throughout the year has had to pick up the slack. As Harper was out for a lot of the year with a broken thumb. They went 32-20 with Harper out. A 2-1 pitch. Fouled off 2-2, and we check in with Kenny.
Bryce, you just yelled at your teammates when you returned to the dugout, stay on the heater. Is that the best approach against Darvish tonight?
I mean, he's tough. I mean, he's always been tough. So, I mean, that's the plan that I'm going to take up there for the next couple of at-bats. I just think we got to, keep going, keep having good at-bats, and try to take this crowd out of it as quick as possible.
Did you think that was out?
I wasn't sure. I thought I got enough of it. Might have been a little too high, but I'll take it 1-0.
Bryce, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, so the postseason leader with his 4th home run. Darvish back home with the 2-2. Castellanos off balance, serves one in the air to left field for Jurickson Profile. Carries to the edge of the track. 2 out. We look back at Harper's homer.
Well, watch the swing. I mean, it's still a pretty flat swing for a high fastball, and he gets enough of it to where he's like, okay, maybe, and just enough here in this ballpark.
We were talking about it. You were early on in the game. Be interesting to see how the ball carries here. It doesn't always carry great. That one carries out.
Well, and Darvish in the last 2 years given up 50 home runs, and he's going to be a fly ball, swing and miss type pitcher, and you get lucky enough to get a few of them. But it's a guessing game with him, and that's what Harper, I'm sure, and Kenny reported about. Like, hey, we got to stay on the heater. Well, that's easier said than done because he's spinning so many breaking balls up there and slowing. See, the eyes of the hitter is like the radar gun, and when he's slowing him down, and he zizzes one in there, it's you need fast twitch muscles to be able to pull the trigger.
And those home runs have been the only way to get to him so far this postseason. Darvish has given up 5 runs on 5 solo home runs, and that's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game. If you get beat on solo home runs, it is just tip your hat because it's rare. What's the game I'm thinking about? Because I always make that statement. If somebody hit 7 solo home runs, I think the Angels did. They hit 7 solo home runs.
They got beat.
And I think they got beat.
Yeah. Otani probably had a couple and threw 8 shutout innings, but yeah.
It was, I think it was Angels and A's, if I'm not mistaken. It was a crazy game. But 7 solo home runs usually gets it done.
You should expect to win. You hit the ball out 7 times. Boom, looks at strike 3. Darvish continues to rack up the K's, but the Phillies draw first blood here in the National League Championship Series. It's the reigning MVP, Bryce Harper. His 4th home run of the postseason, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. His roster's dotted with superstars, one of them with a home run in Bryce Harper. 2 of them coming up here to open the 4th inning for the Padres in Juan Soto and Manny Machado.
Soto so good with the bases empty on getting on base. And that's just been his calling card, right? He will not expand the zone. He'll pass the baton on to his teammate. Ground balls on pitches down. You get the ball up over the plate, and you're going to risk what Harper did.
Well, Wheeler has thrown him 6 pitches, and they've all been balls. The rest of the game, he's been pounding the zone, and he's adapting that strategy you always use. Those superstars are not going to beat me.
Yeah. It would be nice, though, to get ahead of those superstars and pitching behind. But 24 pitches in the 1st inning. Since then, coming into this, 13 pitches and 12 were strikes. Tells you when these 2 guys are up.
So 3-0 on Soto. 1.
So disciplined for a young player. I mean, I just marvel at the way that he's not hitting the way he wants to in San Diego. But if it isn't in his spot, he's going to trust that he doesn't mind hitting with 3 and 2. He doesn't mind hitting 0 and 2, 1 and 2. He's looking for a pitch, and give Wheeler credit. He dotted the inside part of the plate. Got back in the count, 3-2.
Juan Soto leading off this 4th for the Padres. Already got a world championship under his belt. 20-year-old in 2019 with the Nationals. Homered twice against Garrett Cole. Homered against Justin Verlander in that Fall Classic. On this 3-2 from Zach Wheeler. He bounces it in front of the plate, but foul. It's foul ball.
I had a foul ball. I had him touching it.
Plate umpire Adam Hammer, having to explain himself here to JT Realmuto. All the Phillies are shouting, wait, why? And Rob Thompson's going to come out and join this. Let's see.
Home plate umpire thought it hit Soto, okay? And that ball ends up being fair. And does JT get it in time? He sure does. So when you're calling a foul ball, you think, okay, it hit his foot. Soto running would probably give that away a little bit, but hard call.
Well, fair foul calls on the infield are not reviewable, so this would have to get overturned in this reviewers in this meeting here between the umpires, and they stick with the call and say foul.
Tough call for home plate umpire when you see the ball like that, so close to his foot, and then it just barely dribbles forward.
Tough call, but a big one. Got to throw another pitch to Juan Soto.
I mean, sometimes the evidence of him running, you know, by him staying there and making it feel like a hit off his foot, and then he's going to start running right there. He got bailed out.
He sold it. 3-2 again, and he takes strike 3. They say the ball don't lie, and it found the inside corner to ring him up ultimately. Fourth K for Wheeler.
Well, 3-0 count, and he comes all the way back and makes pitch after pitch after pitch. These are perfect pitches. Now that one maybe as perfect as they come, but wasn't called a lot on that side of the plate. But I think all in all, it evened out.
Yep. And that is 9 straight retired by Zach Wheeler. One away in this 4th inning. Manny Machado to the plate. Saw 9 pitches his first time. Handles this ball on a line to center field, right at Marsh. 2 out. Just missed it. Well, earlier today, the Yankees took the series that just would not end in 5 games
in 9 days.
Guardians, right? Harrison Bader, 3 home runs, 3 of the 9 home runs the Yankees hit in that series. And so 24 hours after they finish off the division series win, they will play game 1 in Houston.
It'll feel like a regular season. No day off, travel, get there in the night, but they're traveling with a lot of motivation.
That is after our game, which
ball up.
We'll have coverage beginning at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific tomorrow. 1 ball, no strikes on Josh Bell. Blake Snell for the Padres, Aaron Nola for the Phillies in game 2. Here's a fly ball to right center field that he hooked off the end of the barrel, and an easy play for Marsh. End of 4, 1-0 Phils. The 2022 National League Championship Series on FS1 is presented by Loan Depot. So many prettier spots in baseball than Petco Park here in San Diego. Bryson Stott leads off the 5th for the Phillies. They lead 1-0. And the Bryce Harper home run. Strike one from Yu Darvish. Harper's home run is 4th of the postseason already. And now the Phillies bring the bottom of the order up there against Darvish. Stott flied to left his first time. On this 0-1. 0-2.
Well, this is living exactly up to what we thought this would be, a tremendous pitching duel. The first 2 games should be exactly this way. These are 2 really good pitching staffs that in the front end of the rotation can quiet a really good offense. And even if it's an opportunistic offense, Darvish is proving at the 7 Ks he's got what it takes to pitch into the 6th, 7th inning of this game.
Looking for another. His 0-2 is in the dirt. Yeah, these are 2 offenses that have hit enough, obviously, to get him here. But the pitching staffs. Phillies have a 2.55 ERA. Starters have a 1.44 so far in the postseason. Padres a 2.80. Got some good starting pitching. The bullpen, especially the back end of the bullpen, has been dominant. The rookie Stott starting the 5th. A 1-2 from Darvish. Checks his swing. No swing.
And you know what's interesting about both these teams towards the end, it didn't look like who wanted it. Who wanted to secure their postseason play when you had the Brewers nipping at both these 2 teams. The Phillies went through an 8 out of 10 loss late. And then really it clicked for both clubs, and both managers said, you know, we put it together. It took a while for Bob Melvin to learn his team, learn the personnel, coming here on the scene as the new manager.
You're so right, though. Really, it didn't totally click until the postseason.
Right.
I mean, the Padres were below 500 from the end of June on. The Phillies were 15-20 over their last 35 games, and the Padres got it going a little bit towards the end of the regular season. But you know, neither one of these teams just took off. Hot right in time to take down some giants over the first 2 rounds. Another 2-2 to Stott. Bouncing ball. At first base, Myers race to the bag, and Myers just barely gets his foot there.
Well, they say the fastest way to first base is to stay on your feet, but it looks closer when you can slide. When you slide like this, it's usually a high throw that can get you into first, but I just don't think it's faster, but it looks better, and it might be confusing to the first base umpire because he doesn't hear the thud, the ball in the glove and the foot hitting the bag.
Definitely looks better, though. You got that right. Just there in time was Myers. One away, 5th inning. Here's Gene Segura.
And you know what I never bought into, because it's such a statement you hear all the time. Well, we got nothing to lose. We're going to play. You know, we're going to play loose. That's a bogus statement. You got everything to lose. They were not favored. Let's get that straight. And they went into New York, but they were playing the kind of baseball, the Padres that is, when they went in and took care of New York. They gained that confidence on a team that owned them in the Dodgers. They beat the Dodgers, and now they think they can beat anybody. Why not? And on the other side, you know, Bryce Harper's like, we're not losing. And they finally got probably the healthiest team they've had in a while. With the bullpen, the starters, and now him and the position players, they're a scary team. But you can't go in going, hey, we got nothing to lose, and that's why we won. Well, if that was the case, you'd do that all the time.
Right. Bounce it is short. Ha-Seong Kim. 2 out. Well, the finalists for the 2022 Hank Aaron Award have been announced, and fans can cast their vote for the top offensive performers in each league at MLB.com/Aaron. Voting ends October 24th. You know, the Padres, that little surge towards the end of the season came after Bob Melvin, in the words of Jake Cronenworth, got mad at him for the first time. It was September 15th. They got shut out by Arizona 4-0. And Bob said, I just didn't feel like we put up much of a fight. And so he held a meeting after the game, got after him a little bit. Here's Marsh. Rounds on the first for Myers. Next day they had a players-only meeting. They ripped off a 5-game winning streak from there. They've been better since. Bob Melvin, the right time for a meeting like that. The right touch in his first year in San Diego.
Need to focus on the game? Just tell Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
Why does that happen every time I text you? Do Not Disturb thing pops up. You're out there golfing.
That's right. Relax before the big game.
I get it. You got to get your nerves right. Jake Cronenworth leads off this fifth for the Padres, who are still looking for their first hit against Zach Wheeler. Fly down the line. Schwarber's over there. And on one pitch, and this has happened a few times, Zach Wheeler gets the first out. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, Zach Wheeler went on the injured list from August 25th to September 21st with right forearm tendonitis. Now, he didn't want to go. He wanted to battle through it, but the Phillies thought this was the best plan for him, even in the middle of a pennant race, to protect him for the rest of the way. Well, their plan worked. His velo was up against the Braves. It is up again tonight. 2 to 2.5 miles per hour for each pitch.
And he's been leaning on that pitch, Sean, throwing the four-seam more and more here this postseason. Strike one on Myers.
Well, it's late life, low three-quarter. It looks like he gets underneath it, but he's really not. He's on top of that fastball, and that's that extension I was talking about on how the hitters can't pick it up. Oh, by the way, he's got a weapon that he's been saving. And that weapon's that curveball that nobody's been able to hit. So when you can hit with fastballs and then drop that curveball in, it's only 7 of them tonight, so he's saving them for the opportunity later in the game. So far in the postseason, 0 for 12 with 6 Ks on that pitch.
Looking like a throwback tonight, Zach Wheeler.
No.
That breaking pitch misses, and it's 2-1 on Myers. Well, the ERA for Zach Wheeler since taking the month off that Kenny was talking about, 132 over his final 3 starts of the regular season, first 2 starts of the postseason. From the 4 zeros so far tonight. That's up the middle and a base hit. First one of the game for the Padres comes from their longest tenured player, Will Myers.
Well, the bat stayed in the zone, the ball stayed in the zone. Probably the only mistake he's made so far tonight, and Myers took advantage of it. Ball leaks in inner half of the plate, trying to go away, but watch the ball leak in. See how it leaks in right to his barrel. Even though he doesn't super square it up, he hits it up the middle for the first hit. Now this guy that's at the plate, this is their rallying guy. You may not know much about Kim if you haven't followed or are not a fan of the Padres, but they love this guy. He can be overmatched at the plate, but comes up with big hits. He's getting better and better, and defensively, he's locked at short.
Well, if you don't know a ton about Ha-Seong Kim, let's tell you a little bit about the 27-year-old. Just turned 27 yesterday. 7 years as a pro in Korea, where he was a superstar. He's known for home runs and fun bat flips after the home runs. Came to the majors last year, struggled mightily. Really just spot duty over the second half of the year. He's been a whole lot better in his second season, though. Here he pops up to first. Reese Hoskins will put it away, and Kim is out number 2.
But he's the guy, he's the one that comes in the dugout dancing. He's the guy that they have rallied around. He's energy. He has really become a favorite of that ball club. And it's funny because we were talking about Melvin. He said he was flying in this dugout. He had to catch him. He missed the first 2 steps. He said he would have face planted, but they love him, and he's gotten better and better. And like I said, he's in the middle of some big hits this year.
They said last year he was kind of like the mascot. Well, this year he's got all those endearing qualities, but he's got the production to go along with it.
Well, this is what all you need to put a period on this statement. When Tatis comes back, a lot of people feel like Kim will be the shortstop.
Hasn't just saved the Padres this season. He's unlocked something moving forward. I think Tatis is going to play center. Trent Grisham trying to have something to say about his spot in center field. He's been a different guy in this postseason, hitting .364 with 3 home runs.
Cannot even describe how bad of a year has got to go for him to do this in the postseason. Saves your year. You don't even, if he keeps going at this pace, you don't even look at that year. Wasn't it the worst batting average in all of baseball?
John, he was completely lost. He was hitting 184 during the regular year. It was closer to 100 over the last 2 months. And so the last 2 weeks, he wasn't even playing every day. They were playing a rookie Jose Azocar. And then they debated whether or not to play him every day in the postseason. They said, okay, we're going to do it. And all he's done is homer against Scherzer and DeGrom. And he's been one of the top hitters in the league in the postseason. Checked his swing. And it's 1-2.
Oh, that one looked tough there. That one looked like he went. And I think he did, but made the appearance look like he did. Kept his elbows back as long as he could.
The way Bob Melvin put it about Trent Grisham, he went from being completely beaten down to our MVP through 2 rounds. Out of the 8th spot. Trent Grisham takes very high.
What you could understand is if he was a free swinger and hitting 184, right? Like if he was super aggressive, expanding the zone, he rarely swings. So he's really only got like 1 pitch to hit per at bat. If the trend was going, well, he's made the most of some of those in the postseason. He did come out to get in the game today, I believe, swung at the first pitch, which is kind of different.
Very for him. Takes more strike threes than any hitter in baseball. 2-2. He swings and misses this time. Zach Wheeler gives up his first hit of the night, but still no runs in a 1-0 pitcher's duel in Game 1 of the championship series. Top of the order for the Phils, Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarber hit a slider. Will he see a first pitch fastball, or will Darvish say, nah, I made a bad pitch with the slider, and still start him off slow with breaking balls?
That's how he's pitched tonight, backwards. And it is a breaking ball. Schwarber was ready. How far does this go? Second deck. Kyle Schwarber tees off. 2-0 Phillies.
That last at bat that he had when he got that single, it looked quick, short to the ball. It looked like it unlocked something, and he sat on it and crushed it.
119, 120 miles per hour off of the bat. That's one of the hardest hit balls in baseball this year. Yeah, I think you found it.
Yeah, 2 things. You either sit on location once you get it and you just let the bat go. He's one of the strongest human beings, and he's been lost coming into this game. Kenny talked about the adjustment he made with Kevin Long. Well, that is a key they better keep, because they unlocked a huge safe.
That is his 10th postseason home run.
Ball high.
1 ball, no strikes on Rhys Hoskins. Kyle Schwarber came into the game 1 for 20 in this postseason. Walk, single, missile. Hoskins pops it into shallow center field for Jake Cronenworth. I mean, this ball was absolutely destroyed.
Inner half, and watch where the barrel is. Bam! I mean, so quick and explosive that it didn't take much to get this ball. I mean, if you got a ticket, you're not thinking there's any chance you're getting a ball up there.
No, you didn't bring your glove.
No.
And Bryce Harper, he's shocked at how hard that one was hit. JT Realmuto to the plate with 1 away.
Well,
1-0. So it's another solo home run tallying against Yu Darvish. That's the only way he's given up runs this postseason, but to this point, no support.
Well, the first time he went through the lineup was an even split between 4-seamers and cutters. Second time he went through the lineup, it was 4 times. 46% 4-seamer and 12% cutter.
2-0. Grounded to short. Ha-Seong Kim. Down to Ken Rosenthal.
Kyle, that home run was 119.7 miles per hour. You told me before the game you were feeling better physically. How did that swing feel?
Yeah, it definitely felt good. Good pitcher out there. We got to stay on him, and yeah, I mean, swing felt good there, and hopefully keep it going here.
Kyle, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, it was the hardest hit home run of Kyle Schwarber's career, and confirm it is the 4th hardest hit ball in baseball this season. 488 feet. The farthest that a home run has ever traveled at Petco Park. Harper had a much different profile on his home run. Lofted a fly ball the other way. Boy, there's finding it. There's having something click. And then there's absolutely destroying a baseball the way Schwarber just did.
That was obscene there. That one was for the ages.
Oh.
1-1.
Well, when you look at how quick this is, it's just straight to the ball. I mean, he's a handsy hitter, right? His timing of his upper half, he uses his lower half, and when he's squatting and using his lower legs, there's nobody stronger in the game. And he can get disjointed. He was disjointed, and something connected him back. Same thing with Harper. Very violent upper body swing, but his lower half is the reason why he can do that, and it's the reason why he can hit it all over the ballpark as well.
Harper now to right field. Soto goes back on it. He's there. And that's the inning. An absolutely titanic blast from Kyle Schwarber. The hardest hit home run and the longest home run of his major league career. The longest one ever hit in this ballpark. And what a stage for him to do it. Game 1 of the championship series. On a pair of solo shots, it's 2-0 Phils.
And they stay there. And they say yeah. And they say there.
So many big postseason moments throughout his career, just added another. The longest home run of his career makes it 2-0 Phillies. And 2 runs right now feels like relatively a lot given the way this guy's pitching.
And that's my point. Tight game. You get 1-run lead.
Here's a shot the other way by Austin Nola. In the gap, it's Castellanos making the catch. Gave it a ride, but Castellanos was there to bring it in.
It's the best way to pitch your best game when the game is tight. I mean, everyone wants room for error, don't get me wrong. But when you're locked in a duel and then they add that run, just like I said in the 6th inning, it's 2-0. It feels like 4-0. And you know the tying runs at the plate if somebody gets on base, but you'd rather have it this way.
That's his 6th first pitch out, by the way.
It's amazing, and they've figured out what they're talking about in the dugout is, hey, look, this guy's throwing strikes. And so our patient approach, we're just going to get the 2 strikes faster than we want to. Let's find one in the zone, and let's let the ball, don't let it travel. Go get it. And so far, they haven't beaten them over the fence.
Again, the Padres on the season, one of the most patient teams in baseball. Flipping that script tonight against Wheeler. And the 1 long inning in the first. Nothing doing since. Jurickson Profar swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Profar's twice grounded to second. Zach Wheeler home with an 0-2.
1-2.
8th big league season for Wheeler. First 5 seasons came with the New York Mets. And on the 3rd year with the Phillies, he has been exceptional. There were some people that questioned the deal when it was signed. He had been full body work in New York, an average pitcher. Signed the deal for much more than you would normally see an average pitcher get, with the Phillies thinking that, you know, he had some distance from those injuries that he had dealt with and that he was ready to blossom, and they were right.
And that's the deal, right? He dealt with some of those injuries mainly because of the way his ball and his hand come out of the glove, his elbows and shoulders. Got that Tommy John. Now he's connected again. But I really tell you, sometimes each pitcher has a key. For him, it's a firm front leg, not soft. When his front leg comes down soft, puts a lot of pressure on the upper body, it means he's late. When it comes down firm, he's going downhill behind the ball, and nothing can really go wrong, and the timing is good. And it really is the foot placement. Sometimes, to explain it over the air, do you put your foot down and drive it, or do you softly put it down and pitch around it? That's the big difference. You got to get down and drive it. And look, he's got electric stuff that doesn't look electric when you just watch him throw. It looks like, oh man, he's playing catch with the catcher.
Here's his 2-2 to Profar. Top of the zone, strike 3. Adam Hamry goes up above the zone, it looked like there. 2 gone.
Well, if he had to execute his game plan, he's executed it perfectly. That ball might have been above the zone, but it had tremendous movement. What did we say in the beginning? You got to face Soto and Machado with nobody on. And so far, so good if you're a Phillies fan watching Wheeler go at it.
Soto, who walked his first time, got ahead 3-0 his second time before Wheeler came back to strike him out on a curve. First pitch, breaking ball for strike 1.
Every time I think he might be aggressive early in the count, he just, again, is willing and confident to know that he can hit with 2 strikes, 1 strike. He's waiting for his pitch. And he, like Harper, he can hit the ball the other way like a pulled right-handed hitter. So if he gets a fastball out over the plate and he lets the barrel go, he can drive the ball to left field, just like Harper does.
His favorite place to go, left center. Over the top of this one, an 0-2. Since coming to the Padres, not as many line drives, not using the whole field the way that he does when he's totally right. Bob Melvin feels like right now, though, might be the closest he's been since they acquired him to really taking off again. And an 0-2 from Zach Wheeler. Soto bounces it foul.
Well, and even talking with Bob Brentley, it's like when you're facing somebody on the other side, don't tell me what they're doing now. You know what you're capable of, and it's the flip, right? Rob Thompson. Hey, I know what Soto's capable of. Whether he's locked in or not, he's not the guy. I'm more concerned with the other guys. I know what he can do.
Down swinging here, Zach Wheeler with 6 scoreless innings. Just 1 hit tonight against Zach Wheeler, and they trail 2-0 as this game goes to the 7th. Nick Castellanos leads off for the Phillies. Darvish comes home. Strike 1.
I mean, this is what the Padres do. Slow heartbeat, not getting carried away. They're in a lot of close games. They were down 3-0 to the Dodgers, and then boom, boom, boom. And they just play a lot of these games because their offense tends to be in this ballpark on the lower scoring game because this ballpark doesn't produce a lot of homers.
Where their pitchers keeping them in it.
Yeah. And there you have it. I mean, Wheeler has been unbelievable. Darvish has equaled it, just made 2 mistakes. And Darvish is hoping that the theory that I keep talking about won't get him a loss, because solo home runs usually don't beat you.
A couple of them tonight. Harper and Schwarber both going deep for the Phillies. Castellanos slips it ball 1.
Anything on that side of the plate now that's spinning, he took that as if that's good. If that's strike 3, there's nothing I can do about it. But now if he chases spin on the outside part of the plate, he can't lay off of it. Puts too much pressure on the hitter.
Well, he got a lot of the plate, but still got the out and a crack that flare to third. 1 away here in the 7th inning. Our game summary is presented by Liberty Mutual. Harper and Schwarber both hitting solo shots. Zach Wheeler now 19 innings in the postseason, has put up zeros in 18 of them.
Yeah, I mean, he has been. The timing couldn't be any better for both these clubs, what their starting pitchers have done. Because you go to the ballpark and you go, we got a great chance to win. Give me 2. Give me 3. And we're going to win.
Here's Alec Bohm, who has struck out looking both times against Darvish. Not waiting around this time. Bounce with a Machado. 2 up, 2 down.
I'm going to go on record. I know this is like really crazy statement I'm about to make.
Can't wait.
There's going to be a complete game in this series.
Could it
I know, call me crazy.
Could it be
crazy.
tonight?
Could be tonight, but there's going to be a complete game. I feel like with these pitchers and this offenses, the way they counterbalance each other.
Here's Stott with 2 away, and one of the ways that the schedule could affect things is you might lean on your starters more so as not to expose those bullpens. Padres bullpen has been great, really good at the back end. The bridge there, questionable. Phillies pen has been good, but still the relative question of this team. And so, you know, both teams are probably going to push those starters a little bit more, given those things, given the 5 straight days they're going to have to play after the day off.
Yeah, and look, we've already seen, don't have to go back and talk about the momentum switches when you take out a pitcher who's dealing to the other player's mindset. And when a guy's dealing and you're showing no hard hit contact and no threats, it'd be hard for me to take that person out.
Complete game is not coming from the Padres tonight. Tim Hill warming, Nick Martinez as well. Darvish at 92 pitches. 93rd is a 2-0 to Brayson Stott. And for a strike.
2-1.
Darvish once again 6 2/3, 30th time in 33 starts this year he's gone 6+. This is not something he did early in his career because he was around the zone so much. He was attacked like never before. Here's a 36-year-old getting better and better. Stott flies one to right center field. Grisham is there. And Darvish, 7 very strong innings tonight. We stretch in San Diego. Padres offense trying to find it. Teeth of the lineup coming up, down 2. Well, you know you're doing something impressive when your peers are making faces like Bryce Harper made there on that Kyle Schwarber home run, the longest home run ever hit in this ballpark. 2-0 game, couple solo home runs in the first game of this championship series. A great pitching matchup.
I think it's going to be a great series, and it's going to be dominated by pitching, and whatever offense could be opportunistic. And so far, Philly has. Darvish tough on left-handers. Both left-handers hit the homer, and I think for Philly, you're going to ride this hot hand as long as you can. He's only got 71 pitches. I like a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, you really went out on a limb when he said complete game could be coming. You check in the K, 9 pitches an inning since the first. Yeah, tonight could be the night. Machado and the Padres trying to have something to say about that. Zach Wheeler dominant so far. Comes home and Machado takes ball 1. Padres have just 1 hit against Zach Wheeler. There's a single from Will Myers in the 5th inning. He's walked 1. He's struck out 7. Machado, Bell, and Cronenworth up for the Padres here in the inning that was the magic one for him in Game 4 of the division series against the Dodgers. Scored 5 runs to erase the 3-0 deficit. Machado scorches it foul.
Well, this is one of the best pitch sequences against one of the great hitters in the game. When you think about what he's able to do, he gives him a little bit of a wrinkle there, and then he even gives him a little wrinkle below that. So he gets him in a tough spot and then throws an inside two-seamer that runs away, and then the curveball changes speed away. And he had Soto thinking completely opposite of whatever he thought was coming.
Falls behind Machado 2-1. Not too many times tonight he's been behind in the count. 19 innings in this postseason, 18 zeros put up by Zach Wheeler. So his 8th year in the big leagues, pitching in the postseason for the first time this year. Power against power, and it's 2-2. Well, if the Padres are going to have a chance in this series, I know that the offense has not been what's gotten them here, but Machado and Soto are going to have to hit like stars.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pressure to put on them because the pitchers are going to pitch according to that. They know that. And so, you know, you hyper focus the superstars in that lineup. You circle that lineup before the game starts.
2-2. Cross up, including the umpire. There they say foul ball. Let's see. It was. Heard some stuff.
Not.
But I don't know if that was just a clank.
Thought it was a foul ball, and it's just coming down as a 3-2 pitch, I guess.
Yeah, then they just now shifted the scoreboard in the stadium to say 3 balls, 2 strikes. A payoff pitch. Manny Machado skies it to right. Castellanos coming on. 1 away. Start Saturday strong with Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Heisman frontrunner C.J. Stroud leads number 2 Ohio State against Iowa. And then a top 10 showdown out west. 9th ranked unbeaten UCLA takes on number 10 Oregon. All on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Well, Wheeler's pounding the strike zone. Coming into this inning, 16 of the first 20 strike ones, right? That's an 80% clip. That's going to get it done. It's going to be putting the other team in a hole.
There's another.
And that's been the MO. That's why you get some quick outs. You got that team to get out of their game plan of taking, because they're very good at making the other pitcher work, not swing a lot.
That's a bullet, but right at Segura. 2 gone in the 7th.
And the one thing that if he pitches deeper into this game, the one pitch he's got in his back pocket is that curveball. He's been getting outs with fastballs, and this series could very well come down to who gets the most outs with fastballs with their starting pitching.
Zach Wheeler more and more fastball as the season went on, and he's turned it up even a notch here in the postseason. 79 pitches, and there is some stirring down in that Phillies bullpen as Jake Cronenworth comes up here with 2 gone. Strike 1.
It's a game of high velocity and spin rate. We're trying to miss barrels and miss bats. I get it, but if you can make quality pitches with your fastball and get outs, when your pitch count goes down and you're not at risk for pitching behind in the count, and you're not afraid to pitch to contact, because everybody wants to strike everybody out. And what does that do? That builds up the pitch count, gets you out of the game, and the next guy comes in and tries to strike everybody out. And what we're seeing is a clinic on being able to make pitches in the zone, but off the barrel of the bat.
That was Sir Anthony Dominguez, the top guy down there in the bullpen for the Phillies. It's 1-2 on Cronenworth. And that at this point feels like just in case things go sideways here, because any move until then feels like it's acting too soon.
And I don't know what Rob's going to do next inning, but I wouldn't even think about bringing in a reliever until somebody gets on base.
And even then.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the way he's going, and he's pitching good. And even those couple hard contacts.
Drips it into the knees to get Cronenworth. Zach Wheeler, game 1 of the championship series. 7 scoreless innings. Stay during the postseason and compete to win $50,000. Enter MLB Base Chase in the MLB Play app or through MLB.com/play. Restrictions apply. See official rules for details. And don't miss a thing this postseason. Follow at MLB on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to keep up with everything baseball. The Padres bullpen, collectively one of the breakout stars of the postseason. Just 1 run over 16 innings in the division series against the Dodgers. And this guy here, Nick Martinez, 5 innings, just 1 run.
He's nasty. 4-pitch mix. Great changeup. Good curveball. Fastball cutter.
Strike 1 on Segura.
And you mentioned it. Their bullpen is a huge reason why they were able to pull off some upsets, because once they came back, they sealed the deal in the games they got the lead.
Martinez, who began this season in the rotation, moved into the bullpen midseason. There was even a stretch there in August when Josh Hader was struggling where Martinez became the closer.
Yeah, he's got swing and miss stuff. I mean, he can. That changeup and curveball, we'll see it soon.
Here's 1-1. Lifted to right for Soto. 1 gone in this 8th inning. And now a quick word from Capital One.
Capital One is the official bank and credit card partner of Major League Baseball. What's in your wallet?
And now the 9-hitter Brandon Marsh.
Well,
what you got? You worried they're going to take Wheeler out?
I already think they've taken him out.
So we were watching, folks, Zach Wheeler come off of the field after that 7th inning, and the body language in there, the handshakes, would lead you to believe he's done, which feels like a mistake.
Well, I mean, given the way that he has pitched the last 5 or so starts and the time he had off, I mean, a regular season, absolutely no chance they take him out of the game. But looks like they may take him out of the game based on who's warming up and the handshakes he got. There's that change. Oof.
But I mean, he's at 83 pitches. They've hardly touched him. I know there's a line drive from Josh Bell last inning. It's not like the top of the order is coming up. It's going to be 6, 7, and 8. It just seems like overthinking it.
It might be 2-0 game. We talk about the series with only 1 day off. No stress in this game today.
Right. So 83 pitches.
No stress.
And pretty low stress 83.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to find out. 8th inning, 2-0, game 1. Martinez fires and Marsh hacks it foul. All right, so here's what we saw.
Yeah, you don't give handshakes like that.
Yeah,
you just let the pitcher go, let him go to his spot.
It's a full receiving line there.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of work if that was every inning.
I ain't shaking hands.
Marsh is 0 for 2 in this one. Waits on a 1-2 and chases a big hammer. Back to the top of the order, and the star of this show tonight for the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber, absolutely unloaded on a ball. Longest home run of his career. Longest home run in this ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't take into effect the air here either. So that ball is smoked. I'd throw first pitch changeup right here if I'm Martinez, but that ball is in the upper deck, and you don't see many ever up there.
There are all the details of it. 4th hardest hit ball in the sport this year. In the dirt with a curve, 1 ball, no strikes. 42nd postseason game for Kyle Schwarber, who's played 8 years in the majors, been to the postseason 7 times. Phillies seeing a couple things that they wanted when they signed him tonight. That is the power and the ability to do it in October.
And when Schwarber's right, I mean, he can go all parts of the field. I mean, I know he's looking to pull, but he's got that ballpark he's playing in, Citizen Bank ballpark. My gosh, that left field's nice for him too.
Play Resume sponsored by Indeed. 2 homers in this game. Schwarber and Harper. Schwarber's the hardest hit one of his career. Harper's the highest home run of his season. Both counted for 1. Nick Martinez looking for a 1-2-3-8. Hits it a mile up into the upper deck, but way foul.
I know that this postseason especially will have a lot of question marks around it. Some of the teams that didn't go as far as they should. And a lot of it will be about when to pull somebody and the philosophy of pitching and all that stuff. There's no guarantee the next guy coming in is going to be pounding strikes.
Got him with a changeup. Butterflied away to finish off a 1-2-3 inning. To the bottom of the 8th. Rob Thompson hands it over to the bullpen. Petco Park is rocking. Some life injected into this place as Zach Wheeler's taken out of the game. Sir Anthony Dominguez pours in strike 1 to Will Myers. Now, Dominguez has been dominant this postseason. He's faced 12 batters. He's struck 8 of them out. As dominant as anybody in baseball so far this postseason, but there's no guarantee that he's as good as Zach Wheeler was. Quickly ahead 0-2, and it very well may work out.
Yeah,
but
the mindset though on the other team, the other side is like, all right, we'll try somebody else.
Yeah,
and you're right. He might strike out the side, and I think that's just the trends of the way the game is being played, and they're going to play those percentages until they stop working.
We saw Matt Vierling is coming to the game in left field. Defensive substitution for Kyle Schwarber. 1-2 on Myers, who has the lone hit of this game. So perhaps that factoring into the decision to take Wheeler out at 83 pitches through 7 scoreless innings. 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs. 1-2 from Dominguez, and so far so good with the decision. 100 to strike him out. What a day for this guy.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, he elevated the ball when he needed to. He pitched the corners. He commanded on both sides of the plate. He gave up 1 hit, and he had a special curveball whenever he wanted that they couldn't touch. And it was just he's been pitching like this the last 3 starts for the Philadelphia Phillies, and the confidence goes up when you can throw a guy like him, Nola, and the same thing to be said for San Diego. I mean, Darvish pitched almost equally as good, just 2 mistakes that left the park.
Ha-Sung Kim, ball 1. So Wheeler and Nola have started 5 of the 7 playoff games for the Phillies. And the rotation for the Phils, a 1.17 ERA. That's the best of any team in the playoffs. The 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Easy play, Alec Bohm. 2 up, 2 down for Dominguez. Let's go down to Tom.
Well, Joe, we talked about how electric the fastball was tonight for Zach Wheeler. How about this? 16 pitches to Manny Machado. 14 of them were fastballs. Got him out all 3 times. 97, 97, 98. And those first pitch outs, 5 of those 6 first pitch outs were fastballs in the zone, beating the Padres with his fastball.
Oh, old school country hardball from Zach Wheeler. 2 gone for Trent Grisham, and strike 1 from Dominguez.
Once Dominguez put it together, Alvarado started throwing strikes. Their bullpen was a little bit shaky, to say the least, over the last 3 years, and even this year. And they moved some pieces around, got some guys hot. It's coming out of their hands.
100 to the inside edge. In Game 4 of the division series, the clinching game was essentially a bullpen game as Luis Garcia, the former Philly, gets ready. They got 3 innings from Syndergaard in that game, and then 5 relievers combined to finish it. 15 Ks, no walks in that bullpen game. Wow, absolute filth from Sir Anthony Dominguez. 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. of the National League Championship Series. Coverage starting at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, and then at 7:30 Eastern. Game 1 of the ALCS between the Astros and the Yankees on TBS. Luis Garcia comes on to pitch. 2, 3, and 4 for the Phillies in the ninth. Rhys Hoskins takes strike one, and Phillies fans are saying, hey, we recognize that guy. Spent the first 6 seasons of his career in Philadelphia and has been on a journey since. Padres are his 5th different team over the last 5 years. 35-year-old having a nice season. Home with an 0-1 pitch. With a head 0-2.
Well, good luck trying to hit that pitch. 42 strikeouts on it. How's this? 0.48
yeah.
average. Is that pretty good?
That's pretty good. Yeah, 3 for 60 against his slider.
Yeah.
And a fastball. Can he turn up the 101? Garcia and Nola come together, and Garcia catches it for the first out of the ninth.
Attaboy.
Take charge,
Come
pitcher.
on, pitchers. Don't give in.
Quick word after this catch. We got to give it its due. It's a pitcher taking charge, making a catch.
I mean, what's easier? Pitcher doing that or catcher over the shoulder?
I mean, that's an impressive display of all things good right there. Pitcher coming off the mound to catch it. Now a quick word from Evan Williams Bourbon.
Postseason calls for award-winning bourbon. Evan Williams, 1783 small batch.
Real Muto goes after the first one, backs up Kim. 2 gone here in the ninth.
Wow, Kim's got a sneaky cannon. I mean, he made that look from deep short like no big deal.
Touch as high as 95 on a throw this year. He averages 87 miles per hour on his throws from short. That's the best arm of any shortstop in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, good luck on the left side of the field. Any ball hit on the ground with Machado, who throws. You ever see him throw to bad first? Never.
No. And it's always right on time, like just in time. Kind of plays with the runners. 2 gone in the ninth inning. Bryce Harper, who started the scoring with a home run. Phillies got their second run and another homer. Kyle Schwarber, a wrinkle for strike one. Now for the Padres in the bottom of the ninth, 9-1 and 2 coming up, and Jose Alvarado is going to be the choice. So they got the 7 innings from Wheeler, dominant 8th from Dominguez, and Alvarado will be looking for the save. 0-2 on Harper.
From a guy that right-handed throws 100 occasionally to the guy who throws the most 100-mile-an-hour fastballs in baseball.
It's amazing. Who doesn't these days? Everybody coming out of those pens throwing gas. Garcia's 0-2. A Padre offense that has scored in one of its last 20 innings. Try to beat the buzzer here in game 1. A 1-2. Harper flips it to right. There's Soto. This game goes to the bottom of the ninth. The Phillies 2, the Padres nothing. Alvarado comes on. Nola, Profar, and Soto with Machado looming.
Such a 5-ring thing. 5 thing, a 5-ring thing. And even though we both fly, give each other space and not the evil eye.
To the bottom of the ninth we go. Phillies with home runs from Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. 7 scoreless innings from Zach Wheeler tonight. Some hoop stars, former hoop stars in the building tonight. Ralph Sampson is good friends with the GM A.J. Preller. Current star Paul George. And Bill Walton, the San Diego native, taking this game in. 2 for the tie, 3 for the win for these Padres. And this place is revved up, trying to will their team to a comeback win as Jose Alvarado, the hard-throwing lefty, comes on for the bottom of the 9th.
Well, some teams have that kind of flavor for this, and it seems like the Padres have learned how to kind of hang in these games and then find a way to explode and make this crowd go crazy. And of course, Alvarado wants to early on set the tone by throwing strikes. Again, he can lose the strike zone. He did not do it against the Braves, and the Phillies are hoping he doesn't do it here in the 9th.
Well, the Phillies have no set closer. So Dominguez handles the 8th. Alvarado here for the 9th. A guy that is in his 2nd season in Philadelphia, and it was so bad early on that he was sent to AAA. Spent 3 weeks in AAA. Since coming back, he's got a 1.66 ERA. And he went into the manager's office the day they clinched, and he said, look, I want to pitch every day. 7th postseason game for the Phils. 6th appearance for Jose Alvarado. And it begins with a strike to Austin Nola.
And you know what that tells me is he's more connected pitching more often, because now he's connected to the strike zone. And when the ball comes out of his hand, it really looks like a golf ball, and it just disappears because it has movement and velocity.
After Nola, top of the order in Profar. 1 ball, 1 strike. Padres led the National League this year. 12 walk-off wins.
Are we going to see the brother matchup tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. Buckle up, buddy. Aaron and Austin. Here's a 1-1. Pop foul. And it's 1-2. Game 2 of the championship series. He started by Aaron Nola, who's been fantastic for the Phillies, part of their great rotation. And his brother Austin. They've seen each other a couple times. They're tied at 1. Aaron struck him out the first time. Austin had the game-winning hit against Aaron in a 1-0 win earlier this year. Tiebreaker in the championship series. 1-2 pitch. Chopper to short. Bryson Stott. 1 gone in the 9th inning.
Can't say enough for what Stott has been able to do since playing shortstop for the Philadelphia Phillies. Of course, Didi Gregorius was there, and Stott, well documented when he got called up, overmatched at the plate, and he's really helped solidify that defense for the Phillies, which was a huge question mark coming into the season.
He's helped solidify it at short. Getting Marsh in center field has helped. They're able to do things here in the postseason like we saw earlier. Defensive sub in one of the corners. Matt Vierling in for Schwarber in left. Shoring things up as best they can. And a tight game here. 2-0 as Profar stands in. Ball 1.
Well, Profar has one job, and it doesn't matter if he gets hit by a pitch, walk, bloops a hit. He's got to get on base for the boys behind him to bring the tying run to the plate.
It's what he did in the decisive inning in the division series. He's ahead 2-0. He walked against Tommy Kane to start that 5-run 7th inning. And then they got 4 consecutive singles in an inning that they're going to talk about for years here in San Diego. A 2-0. Ball 3 on Profar with Soto next.
Almost guiding a couple after he went ball 1, just trying to place it in that strike zone, and he's got to let it eat in the strike zone is where he's been successful.
Strike 1.
That was his best pitch at 100 miles an hour because he knew, automatic take, throw it down the middle, see if it can hit his way on. Definitely don't want to walk him.
On a 3-1 pitch, Profar watches ball 4. And Juan Soto comes to the plate representing the tying run. Realmuto out to chat with Alvarado. And Juan Soto, one of the greatest young hitters the game has ever seen. It's been a rocky couple months in San Diego. Had his biggest hit the last time he came up in a big spot. He tied the game against the Dodgers on Saturday night. he's got a chance to do the same here in Game 1 of the championship series.
He likes to see pitches and not afraid to hit deep in the count. But if there's ever a time where he's cherry picking one pitch, could it be here after a walk trying to drive something? But he has been very comfortable just patiently working the count. It's almost as if he sees the pitcher, what he's got on that night, and then adjusts after that.
Here we go. Juan Soto. Chops one left side. Boom to second. One wide throw. The Phillies defense unravels.
Because of the shift, that's why that was a tough play. You're asking Bohm to hit a shortstop that's not supposed to be there. But because they have the shift, watch what he's doing. See, the first move by Stotts was the wrong move. And so now he wasn't able to go to the bag, and he wasn't in position to handle that throw, leading him towards first base. The first move by Stotts was the one towards third base, and because that's an awkward position for the shortstop to turn the double play, a little bit of chaos here.
The Phillies defense was the biggest reason for concerns for them this year. It remains that, even though they've shored it up. And it rears its ugly head at the worst time and opens the door for Manny Machado. The tying run is now aboard. Machado represents the winning run.
I mean, this is the Padres' year in a nutshell. It has been close games, and lift the roof off of the stadium if they're able to win this game here in the ninth.
Machado hit 17 go-ahead home runs this season. That was third in the major leagues. Strike one.
Well, the outfield's playing as deep as they can. They want to cut off any double because Soto can run it first. Playing deep, anything that's not hit firm is going to fall in. But they're trying to protect against that second run. They don't really care about that first run at second base.
Off the end of the bat to right. Castellanos is there. 2 gone in the ninth inning as Alvarado gets Machado. Momentary sigh of relief for the Phillies and their fans. Not out of the woods yet as Josh Bell comes up. Now the Padres had 2 base runners over the first 8 innings of this game. They've got 2 here in the ninth. The walk for Profar. Soto reaches on an error. Now the Phillies only have 3 hits in this game. 2 of them though left the yard. They lead 2-0 with 2 gone in game 1. Josh Bell, the other part of the Soto trade. Swings and misses. 1-0-1 for strike one.
That's kind of the area that Josh Bell likes too. Out over the plate. Wasn't able to catch up that one.
His 1 hit in this postseason was a home run against Max Scherzer.
And he has 17 of them. Over 95 miles an hour hit for home runs.
0-1 pitch. Bell takes ball 1. 7 scoreless from Wheeler tonight. They'll make the decision to hand it to the bullpen. Dominguez a scoreless 8. Alvarado pitching with traffic in the 9th. On a 1-1, Josh Bell swings and misses, and the Padres are down to their last strike. Tying run aboard. Winning run at the plate. 2 gone, 9th inning. 1-2 pitch. Got him! Phillies take game 1. They survive game 1. Stranding 2 runners in the 9th inning. And on a pair of solo home runs, Harper and Schwarber behind 7 scoreless from Zach Wheeler. It's a 2-0 win for Philadelphia.
Yeah, tight game. I think a lot of them are going to be tight, and way to come back if you're Alvarado after walking the leadoff hitter to get to Soto, and then the play behind him didn't get made. It says a lot of his ability to pick up his teammates and make some really good pitches with Machado and, of course, Bell to end the game. These were 2 nasty pitches that you're trying to get a swing and a miss if you can, and this ball disappears on the inside part. It's a hard cutting slider that just buries down and in, and Bell pretty good at not expanding the zone. That ball was in the zone for a long time, and what a big moment right there for Philadelphia Phillies. They started their quest on the road. They will never have home field advantage, and they don't care.
Yeah. They wiped the hot coals off of Alec Bohm over there at third, whose error made things a little too close for comfort for Jose Alvarado in the 9th inning. Ultimately, it is 2-0 final score. 4 hits combined in this first game of the championship series. All the pitchers that came in really good in this one. Let's go down to the field with Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Zach, 7 scoreless innings, 1 hit allowed, 1 walk. What made you so successful?
I don't know. Had to get those nerves out of the way at first. And then, I settled in, stolen strikes, trying to get ahead of guys. And that's kind of the biggest thing that you can do.
83 pitches, yet your velo was down a little bit in the 7th. Did you feel it was time?
Yeah. I talked to Topper in between innings, and that was kind of the plan.
You spent a month or so on the DL or the IL, and yet it seemed to do you really good. Your velo came up, you felt better. Looking back, was that the right move?
I think so. I needed that time on the IL. My elbow was a little sore, so I think it was a smart thing to do at that time of the season. And I think it was the right thing to do.
Zach, thanks very much. Thanks. Now over to Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Ken. JT, 9th inning, a play is not made. Machado stepping in the box as the go-ahead run. You go out to the mound. Tell me about the conversation with Jose Alvarado.
Basically just told him to stay confident and keep attacking the zone. He's an incredible pitcher with really good stuff, and when he's attacking the zone, you see how the results are. So I just wanted to go out there, slow him down a little bit, make sure he was calm, and he attacked him from there, so it was great.
We saw how electric Zach Wheeler was tonight. You had the best view from behind the plate. Describe what he brought to the mound tonight.
He was exactly what he's been all season for us. He was in a, his presence in the dugout. He's so calm. When he gets on the mound, he's so calm, and then he's just, blowing gas by everybody, throwing 98 both sides of the plate. He was just incredible for us tonight, and like I said, he's been doing it all season long.
Speaking of all season long, tomorrow you get the ball to Aaron Nola, who has not given up an earned run this postseason, behind Zach Wheeler in Game 2 with a 1-0 lead. How do you like your position here in San Diego?
Yeah, we definitely like our position. Obviously, we love having Nola on the mound, but that's a really good offense over there, so it's going to be a challenge for us. But I think we got the right guy to get through it.
JT, thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Back to you, Joe.
All right, Tom. Phillies take Game 1. Zach Wheeler, 7 scoreless innings in the rotation for the Phillies in the postseason, a 1.17 ERA. Tomorrow they've got Aaron Nola, their co-ace with Zach Wheeler, trying to send him back to Philadelphia with a 2-0 series lead.